All right, people. The playoffs are on the way. Can you see the playoffs? They are coming. I know for a lot of us, we don't want to see the playoffs because that means no NFL season. And we have to end up watching the NBA season, or God knows what we'll end up watching. But here we are, week 11. It's been one hell of a ride. I had a my best week against the spread last week. Adam had a winning week as well. I'll put the records down below as well. So, guys, it's Mark and Adam from the Sports Corner. And like I said, it's week 11. A lot of tough games, Adam. I've a lot of tight spreads, a lot of these games, if they were spread out, could be like game of the weeks. Rams, Seahawks, Eagles, Detroit, Tampa Bay and Buffalo. So there's a lot of tough games here and a lot of tight spreads. So it's going to be a tough one. I think this could definitely set us apart, me and you, if we get this wrong or right. So guys, like and subscribe. We love doing this. It's awesome. Week 11, but before we get in our predictions, we have to talk a little bit about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Packers. Not the game I was expecting to be 10-7. I think we can both agree on that. 10-7, I got that right? Yeah, 10-7. It was my best bet for the Eagles to win and cover, one of my best bets. And I'll put our best bets, our record at the end of the video here. But Adam, man, I don't know. I came into work and I had people telling me who are Packer fans. It's not just the Packers media, but it's national media calling for LaFleur. Maybe LaFleur's head or a change or something's going on. First of all, what'd you think of the game? It was 10-7, but I mean, maybe we're biased. We're both fans, but I didn't think it was a boring 10-7 because there's some good plays and potential. But what do you think, man? The Packers now lost 2 in a row. The Browns and the Panthers, by the way, and the Eagles now. But I don't know, man. What do you think about the game, the future prospects of the Packers? And I'll get into my Eagles after that. But overall, and do you think LaFleur's head should be called for? Do you think it's right that they're calling for his head?
No, I don't. The Eagles look good. It was a tough game, and I think the Packers and Eagles both had the same strategy going into the game. The Eagles just squeaked one out at the end. Positives, the defense looks like a Super Bowl caliber defense. I think they looked awesome.
People forget like the Eagles. I mean, Eagles statistically are not top 10 defense, but watch all the national guys. They're saying once the Eagles now they're fully healthy and they got the trades, like they'll just march up the top 10, and the Packers are just top 10. So people forget like these are not just high flying, blowing out teams. Like these teams are well rounded for offense and defense.
They are, and both the defenses had their ways. The Eagles' interior offensive line blew up the Packers' O-line, and the O-line is really the issue here. I do think LaFleur has been struggling, but I think he's struggling because their O-line has not been consistent. Obviously it's easy to talk about some of these play calls, but I will say, I think I text our group chat, like in the fourth quarter, it sounded like can was Love's cadence. Like, I know that the Eagles are giving us looks, like daring us to run, but sometimes you just have to run the damn play that's called and get into a rhythm. So I think it's easy to blame LaFleur. I think it's the marriage of LaFleur and Love right now. Something's not working. I mean, last year LaFleur schemed up 3 incredible games with Malik Willis and had that offense humming. So it's not that LaFleur can't coach. I think he's a great offensive coach. I think they're going to figure it out. But the O-line has really been not great. So that's the key takeaway for me.
What's your take on they asked Jomo, the defensive tackle for the Eagles, they said, how did you know that he was going to do it? He was yelling inside zone. I don't know if you saw the video like that, but he said they're running that play to death. And he said, but that particular drive, he said they did like 3 or 4 like in a row. And he was just like, yeah, it's like that was like, mix it up a bit.
Incredible. Josh Jacobs heard it, and he was standing behind Jordan Love.
Yeah.
The center had to have heard it. Like, everybody had to have heard it. Like, sometimes the players need to just call timeout. There are a lot of points of failures in this. I don't know what the heck is going on. Like, there's almost no play action plays. Like, the lack of imagination and conservatism on the offense has been a problem. I think LaFleur is just in his head too much. He's a good coach. I think they're going to get it sorted out. but it is hard to watch right now.
Yeah. What, 5-4-1 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there is some crazy stat. I should have looked it up again, but it's the Packers have lost 3 games with only giving up like 16 or less points. It was like the first time that happened since the 2000 Ravens or something. So like our defense is playing at an incredible rate. It's just our offense cannot get it going.
Yeah, and we talked about weeks before this game that how the Eagles and Packers similar in the thing like they never compete like a full game together, like a full 4 quarters, and when they do, they could be rocking. But
yeah, I think that's a good transition to the cowardly, pathetic Eagles offense, running it on 3rd and 12 in the red zone. Almost bungling it in the 4th in that last drive. I turned the game off. I went to bed I stomped off the bed and turned the game off. I didn't even realize the Packers got another shot because Sirianni's trying to blow the game. Like what happened? I thought Hurts deserved a pick too. He was throwing some wild balls.
The thing about that, it's like I always said the Eagles because Nick Sirianni is like he's a crazy person, and like and the rest of the team is like kind of crazy, especially when CJ Gardner-Johnson. But I was saying this a year ago, 2 years ago. It's controlled chaos. It's not. It's like Vic Fangio is our defensive coordinator, the only constant like person in the building that like it's he's going to give you a great top 10 defense every single year, and we had the best defense last year. But yeah, I don't understand it. Like you don't we like a go route. And then knowing that you could take at least 5 to 10 seconds off the clock between there for the Packers and pin them down. Even if you get in the end zone, they start at the 20-25, right? I have no idea why he did that. No freaking clue. It's like, also, excuse me, I've been saying this. I've been screeching it before the season started. The Eagles need to stop with these internal hires for offensive coordinator. They just need to stop. When we have all this talent, they need to get an external, somebody new with different ideas, but also a veteran offensive coordinator or a head coach that was head coach now, and then he went back to offensive coordinator, something like that. Because this guy Patula, just like the guy 2 years ago, another internal hire. They're freshmen. We don't need a freshman offensive coordinator when we have the windows open to win the Super Bowl again, and you have this person now. I am in the camp that I'm a Jalen Hurts fan, but I also know that he is. I like that he never turns the ball over. He's smart with the ball. He's not afraid to throw the deep ball. He throws the deep ball a lot. It's not that, but for some reason the guy he misses readings here and there, and it's like, and it's usually they're in the middle because he's not the tallest quarterback. But he is not like the, I don't know how to explain it. Like he's a good quarterback. I would say he's even, I pin the top 10, like number 10, 9, but he's not the best person to see the field. And I think that has something to do with it. But I think the play calling has to do something too. Like I hate with the passion that the Eagles lead the league in 3 and outs. Or they're in the top 3, bottom 3 in the league for sure. And we don't just go for it and gun down the ball. Like 3rd and 12, let's get a 4-yard play. For what? What's the difference in those 4 yards if we're going to punt the ball anyways? At least try to go for the first down when you're throwing the ball. But they try to, risk advert. Like they don't want to risk throwing an interception, blah, blah, blah. But that's bullshit. It's like you have all these weapons in your team. Just go for it. Just 3rd and 15. I don't care. Don't do a draw route because they know you're going to do that all the time and do that. Yes, dude. Like, so the Eagles offense is just, it's Dr. Jekyll and Hyde. It's like you never know what you're getting, and you with this much talent in your team, it's like it just seems like it's I don't know. It's like it's a sustainable. We were saying this last year is it sustainable, but we had Barkley going for almost 2,000 yards rushing, so that's a different story. And Barkley's not doing that now, but the story like with the Packers, which we'll get into the Eagles, we'll move to our picks real quick here coming up, but. The Eagles, it's their offensive line. They're beat up like the hell. 4 out of the 5 starters were on the injured list today. They're just going through a pile of injuries, and I believe that Howie will draft. I don't like our right guard is a good passing block and not a good running back. I mean, not a good rush offensive lineman. He's a good pass block lineman. Our center is good, not great. So I think there's gonna be some changes to the offensive line come the draft and come free agency. But offensive line's beat up too, and they I don't know why they don't have Hurts running the ball that much this year. He's not running the pocket. They're not making draws for him. I don't know why. That's his bread and butter. Like that keeps the defense guessing with Barkley, but he's not doing it that much this year. I don't know if he's afraid of getting hurt or he told them he doesn't want to do that anymore. But they need to get back to that, especially when it comes to the Lions. But I'm glad we got the win. I think the Eagles have probably the best linebacker crew in the league. Now with the add of Phillips, he paid over 50% of the plays, and he was terrorizing the Packers back there. And I think that's gonna be more to come. Him, Nolan Smith, Carter. I think that's gonna. I'm not worried about the defense at all, but when it comes to the Packers, I mean the Eagles and someone like the Packers, it's the offense. It's just the goddamn offense. It's like do something, stay consistent. Don't throw the ball 60 yards on 4th and freaking 11 on when there's a few seconds. Like 30 seconds left in the game. It's like it's just a lot. But it was a good game. I was on my toes the whole way, and the Packers made the Eagles, really pay for that win because, like I said, they got beat up and they only won by a field goal, and they caused turnovers too. So, great. So, guys, we had to talk about the Packers and the Eagles because we are big fans of both teams, and there's a chance we may see it. They might play each other again in the playoffs. I do think the Packers will still probably get one of the wild card spots. They still could win the division, but it's definitely in the playoffs for sure. So with that, we're doing this late Thursday night. Let's jump to our Thursday picks, and we both wanted the Patriots to cover the, I believe, 12.5 points. I see around 12.5 usually. There's not much to say, guys. We'll briefly talk about this. I'll speak for me and Adam. We both like the Patriots to cover. Patriots are on a 7-game heater. They're going for 8 games in a row. 8 games in a row is pretty hard to do in the NFL, but you're playing against a Jets team. The Jets, I think they're on 2-game winning streak. So I had the other end against the Browns, so I was happy about that, but that they did that. But they played against the Browns and the Bengals. Now, Bengals have talent offensively, worst defense in the league. It is the worst defense in the league. And the Jets were playing against the Browns team that the offense is, I believe it's the worst offense or second worst offense in the league. So those wins are like, good win because of the Jets, but they're not going to beat the Patriots, folks. So, I think I can speak for Adam, right, Adam? Just I think the Patriots to cover the 12.5, I think is the best play here. I like the under in that game. That's my best play, but we pick the games on that one. So those are our Thursday picks. We like the Patriots to cover the 12.5 to get to the Jets. But let's talk about a game. I think maybe it's the first time they're playing in Spain. I'm not sure about that, so don't hold my feet to that. But we have the Commanders versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins being favored by 2.5, and the over under is 47.5 points. Let's talk about the Commanders, people. They know the season's done. They know there's no more. There's no fighting what's going on with their team. Me and Adam both said they're the oldest team in the NFL. And that was looking like when they were healthy, it was catching up to them. But not only that. It just all those injuries for those old guys and all that, it just caught up to them. And I think they know it's time to throw the towel in. They're 4 games behind the Eagles, and so I think that they're going to throw a towel. But okay, let me talk about the Commanders just a bit. They're all beat up on both the sides, defense and offensively. Okay, they're on a 5-game losing streak, I believe. So there you have it. Janie Daniels, just remind you guys, is not playing the game. Scary Terry is not playing the game. So there's 2 dynamite weapons right there. Mariota is not bad, but he has 5 touchdowns, but he has 4 interceptions. So that's not really what you want to look for there. But he's one of the better backups, and he could run the ball. So you have something in that. But they're beat up, people. They're everywhere. And that guy, that first round rookie, that 7th round pick, or the guy who got picked in the 7th round, he looked like a 7th rounder now. It looks like he's not that not that good like everybody thought. It shows you how ill prepared the Commanders are because they didn't think like, hey, maybe we should have more weapons besides 7th rounder quarterback and an aging running back and Austin Eckler. I'm beside myself here, but So they lost. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and they lost the majority of those games by 21 points or more. 5 of those games, I think it was 4 out of 5. They lost by 21. They're letting people just score on them like game busters. And the Commanders have failed to cover the spread in 4 of their 5 road trips as underdogs. So there's that. As they're going, they're both teams are traveling, but so there's basically 2 road teams. But there you go. I mean, dude, um, I think they need to pack it in. Start Mariota for the rest of the year. Don't even bring Jaden Daniels back. Like, just let him heal, and then spend those picks that they get at a top 10 pick, which was a good team. So if they get those top picks, they could get it. I mean, I think they should just wave the white flag. I think you'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, I don't have much else. Deron Payne is suspended for this game as well.
Oh yeah.
So just another.
Yeah, what an idiot for punching the guy. Good decision there, Jerron Payne. Really helping out the team there.
I saw something. I think St. Brown instigated it earlier, but who cares?
I'm sure. He's probably doing a Trump dance. I'd probably want to punch him too for that. But besides that, and he speaks German. He's fluent in German. Did you know that?
It's weird, dude. His dad's super weird too.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. So let's talk about the Dolphins. They, last year the Dolphins went on a heater too. People forget that Dolphins won like in a 6-game winning streak or 5-game winning streak, and they were like 7-9 or something like this. So they ended up having a decent record because they went here, and this might be a little potential heater here. They won 2 out of 3 games, and they blew out the Bills. I mean, we'll talk about the Bills, but they blew out the Bills. And man, I remember Adam. We go back. Go look at the tape. Go look at the tape, people. Last week, when Adam was calling me a Poindexter for all these stats, I said that I was thinking about taking the Dolphins plus the 9.5 because I just had a feeling because the Bills' defense is ass city, folks. So, excuse me, I'm drinking soda, but yeah, I mean, okay, they blew the doors off the Bills. Great. Best one of the year, to be honest with you. They covered them in the first game of the season. Now they beat them outright, so they had the Bills number this year. A-Chain went off like crazy. He had over 220 total yards. I told you guys the way to beat the Bills is you have to just feed A-Chain, and they finally are doing it. Give that man 20 to 25 carries a game, and that's how you'll stay in the game. Tua then it could play it safe a little bit with the play action, throw to Waddle, throw to whoever else, and play. But A-Chain needs to get around 25 carries a game for them to be successful. Dolphins, dude, they're looking scrappy. They traded those players away, but since then they're doing good. I know they took that L against the Ravens and they put up 6 points, but they're being feisty. I think if they stick to this run game, now if I'm them, I know it's like a hidden, like you don't want to tank games, but like if I'm them, I don't want to like win a lot of games to get back to the position where we're like the 14th pick in the first round. But I'm liking seeing from the Dolphins, man. I'll take this one first. The Commanders are just too beat up. They're just too beat up on both sides of the ball. They have, I think it's the Bengals, then it's the Commanders for like letting the most points pit against them on their defenses. So, like I said, Commanders, like me and Adam said last week, they need to get old, they need to get younger, and they need to get faster, and that's what they need to prioritize starting now into the offseason. So I like the Dolphins a lot here to cover the 2.5 points. I think they just need to pound the rock with A-Chain again. And you know what? And then, that'll just open everything else up. So I think it's going to be a good win for the Dolphins and winning 3 out of 4.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You nailed it. Dolphins are looking good and scrappy, which is not something I think either of us expected. But I think they keep that going, and 2.5 points isn't that much. So I'm very comfortable taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, against the Bills, just like, man, the Bills are. I'm sorry, they're just a disappointment this year. I don't care that they have a winning record. That's not what people thought they were going to be. But let's talk about a AFC North matchup here. We have the Bengals versus the Steelers. The Steelers being favored by 5.5 points, and the over/under is 48.5. I'm surprised by that 5.5. I guess I'll tell you a little bit. This is the old man. They're calling it Unk. You know how the kids call Unk? This is Unk Bowl 2.0, as they played before when Flacco was playing for the Browns. The Steelers are coming off a loss to the the Steelers are coming off a loss to the Chargers, and the Bengals are coming off a loss to the Chicago Bears. The Bengals, they look better with Flacco, obviously better than Browning, but they still have lost. Well, in total, they lost 6 of the last 7 games, and I think Flacco's only won 1 game for them in that time period. So, folks, it's not the offense, okay? The even with Flacco, the Bengals can score with anybody, and because they have weapons of glory. Chris Brown has really stepped up in the last few weeks and continually stepping it up right till now. And they're only 2 games out of first place. This is how crappy this division is. As they're 3-6. Yeah, they're 3-6. They're 2 games away from the thing. And I know Joe Flacco says he feels good, and he's aiming for week 13. I think he said he's hoping for to come back. So there's some motivation for the Bengals. Like, hey, if we win a couple games here, we beat the Steelers. That only makes us 1 game behind them, and then we got Joe Burrow coming back, and maybe he could be our savior. So there's some motivation for there, but their defense is god awful, and there's gonna be no Hendrickson again. Hendrickson is not playing this game. He's doubtful. He's not gonna play, and he's their lifeblood. Only defender worth noting in this whole team. So he's not playing. And also they allow the most points in the NFL, their defense. So people are scoring on them like at will, at over 30 points a game. So, I don't know. Do you think the Bengals? Do you think them knowing they're only 2 games out, if they win this game, they're only 1 game out, that this could light a fire in them, or I don't know. Like, I can't see anything else.
The defense is so bad. I don't know. I don't think, like I've said before, I don't think they're one like rah-rah speech away from being good. Like, they're getting destroyed. They only have 1 player on the defense that's good, I think.
Besides Hendrickson?
That corner. Maybe I'm thinking of a different team. Anyway, they're terrible. So, no. I am very worried about them. We'll see if Burrow can come back. I saw he was practicing. Or starting to practice?
Yeah, he is. He's starting to practice. They opened his window. Yeah, I had to look at their defense. Like, I know some guys here. Like, I know Oren Burks, but he was a castaway from the Eagles. They didn't re-sign him. I know Geno
DJ Turner is who I was saying.
Turner,
he played. He was really good. I saw him in the Packer game, and he's been good for all year.
Yeah, but him and Hendrickson can't do all the leg work. They need some more help here. So, guys, and also Joe Flacco's beat up. Just keep in mind that he is questionable for this game, so he is beat up for this game. So if it's Matt Browning, God help them, because Lord knows they won't go anywhere with that guy. But we know their offense is fantastic and their defense is garbage. Okay, and they let the Bears almost score, I think, 50 on them. I think the Bears put 47 on them. So that's not a good look, especially with the Bears defense not being so great themselves. And the Steelers. Okay, I've been on the Steelers, been saying this for a few weeks now. I think several weeks. I got to go back and look at the previous videos, but they're pretenders. I do not like the Steelers. I do not like their game plan. I do not like this offense coordinator. I hate a game plan where it's flats, halfback screens, and then that's about it. Like, DK Metcalf, I don't even think he's at 400 yards receiving yet. They got Calvin Austin. They threw these dink and dunking and these slants. I don't like it. I think it's like, I'm sorry, I'm burping here. Not a good decision to drink soda, but I need to stay awake. Yeah. Okay. DK has over 500 yards. He's 502 yards. Okay. I take that back, but I'm sorry, folks. I don't like this offense whatsoever. I believe in the bottom 10 in passing yards. They only average 195 yards passing yards a game, and their defense is mediocre. They're actually they're the 3rd worst rushing team. They only rush 80 yards a game, or give or take about that. So I don't like this offense whatsoever. And they've lost 3 out of the last 4 games. The only game they won was that Colts game. Which they probably should have lost. People remember that game, but the Colts, they beat the Colts. So I'm not impressed with it. I'm not impressed by the Steelers. Our Watt could still get after it. He has 6 sacks. Heg Smith, but you never know what you're getting with the Steelers, and the record proves that they're 5-4. I'm surprised they beat like the Patriots and the Vikings and the Colts. Like, I don't know how they beat those teams, but dude, I don't know. The Steelers, they've lost 3 of the last 4 games. So I don't know. What do you think? I think the Pretenders. I've been calling it. I don't like their game plan. Their defense does look old. I know they moved Ramsey to safety because they're having bad safety problems since they traded Fitzpatrick to the Dolphins. So they need some safety help. And now the corner spots a little exposed. I don't know, man. I think Rodgers having a decent year, but I think that's a little. He's These are a lot of throws and yards after catch throws. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's what it is. I don't like the Steelers, but what do you think about them? I think eventually the Ravens will take that division.
Yeah, it's Rodgers just loves that boring offense, and it drives me crazy. It's hard to watch. Sometimes it works when they can power it down your throat, like they almost did to the Packers, or at least for a half they did. But man, it's just so one dimensional with DK Metcalf and not much else. So I don't know. Long term, they're not going anywhere. I think for this game they could probably. I don't know if we want to do our picks yet, but I think they're going to cover. I think they're going to cover this game. I don't like it, but with a simplified offense too, the thing that makes me nervous is like that is the type of thing that can make another defense play better too. Like if they only know you're going to do a couple things, they don't need to be that good to handle all the different stuff. So I'm kind of arguing with myself as I say it, but I still think overall the Steelers need to bounce back because they do have their season's still alive. So I think they have enough to cover, but it's been ugly.
Yeah, it has. And my thing with them is uh, Pittsburgh is you want they do great. Mike Tomlin does great as an underdog. Like he covers a shit ton as an underdog, and I don't know what is, but he's a favorite. He's not that good. So that's where I'm headed. I think the Bengals smell a little blood in the water a little bit, and I think they are. Well, they're just gonna their offense is gonna have to be their defense, and I think if they just get a couple defensive stops, a couple stops, and it's a divisional game, I'm gonna take the Bengals plus the 5.5 points. Now I know one betting statistic that I don't like, which I forgot to mention to you, which kind of helps you and yours, is Pittsburgh has covered the spread in 7 of their 8 home games versus AFC North opponents. So they're covering them left and right against their own division when they're playing at home. In the last 8 games. So there is that, but I am definitely going to take the Bengals plus the 5.5. I don't like this offense, and I don't know. I'm just hoping the Bengals can just put a few good plays together defensively, because I know their offense will be able to score points. So with that, let's fly all the way to Florida here, baby. Let's go to the Chargers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Chargers being favored by 2.5 points, and the over/under is 43.5. The Chargers went a been on a little bit of a run. I remember there had some hiccups around the time when they were playing against the NFC East, and they lost to the Giants and the Commanders, and they were like 3-2, and I was like, well, but since then they've won 4 out of 5 games, losing the 1 game to the Colts, so they're 7-3, not bad. The Chargers, I think they're you guys surprised by them a little bit, because Justin Herbert's really good. He's second in the league passing yards, only behind he's behind somebody by a few yards. He's second, and I think he'll eventually get there. But then when you take a look at their numbers, they're the 8th best offense and 4th best defense. And you start putting it together, because I think their defense is a little I think their defense is not that 4th, as they say. Like, I think it's a tad worse than that. I still think it's top 15, but their defense is something I'm not really sold on. Their secondary is good, but you could rush on them. But they're sneaky good. They have weapons. We know all this. Keenan Allen. Their tight end, by the way, Gatson the second. He practiced, and he looked like he's likely going to play. So that's good. He's really became a weapon for them. Quentin Johnson. They have all these weapons. We know it. Vidal has really stepped up. He has 3 games in a row for 100 yards or more, scrimmage yards, that is. So he's doing good. He's doing he's stepping in for Hampton, the running back who got hurt, who I think is still going to play this year, and I think he could be lifted from the IR coming up. But the Chargers are sneaky good, and you know me, I'm not a goddamn what's his name fan.
Hardball fan.
Hardball fan. I think a lot of people people kiss his ass a little too much for my liking, but I don't know, man. They're pretty good. I think they can. Do you think they can win the division? I mean, that's a tough division. That's the Kansas City division. But do you like the Chargers, man? I mean, they're like quietly good. You know what I mean?
They are. They haven't gotten a ton of hype. They've gotten some, but I think the issue they had a couple down weeks against bad teams when Joe Alt and another offensive lineman were out. Joe Alt's back out, I think, for the year.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done. So we'll see how their offense can handle that. He is such a beast. But they have so many weapons, and Herbert's playing great. But like you said, their defense has been really solid. So they are a balanced and pretty complete team with a good quarterback. So there's not much more you can ask for in the NFL.
Yeah, and I forgot the Denver's leading the division. Then it's Chargers. Then it's KC. So they need to keep up with. Yeah, and now that the KC's playing Denver, they could possibly take up tie for first place or take over first place if they win. So that could be a great motivation there. Let's talk about the Jaguars. I mean, that game, I swear to God, that game against the Texans was one of the worst losses I've ever seen. I am not exaggerating, folks. How in God's name, how do you let an opposing team score 26 points in the fourth quarter? Going into the fourth quarter, it was 29-10. And I remember looking at the live bets, the live thing, and it was like they were like minus 2,000 or 3,000 to finish and win the game. And they let this is why people think shit's rigged, because I'm looking at it right now. At one point, the Jaguars were 98.7 chance to win. According to ESPN at that time. And they start around, then it starts going down around 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter. 26 points, dude, to a team that has David Mills at quarterback, and they let him roar back. And dude, this is what we're talking about the Jaguars, man. Not only Dr. Jocko, Mr. Hyde of a team, and I know it's the Texans defense, which is a really great defense, but Trevor Lawrence, bro, he ain't worth that $200 million contract. But dude, how do you let that much points? Did you watch the highlights of the game? Like, it was like shocking.
I was a little fuzzy about it, but I remember because I picked the Texans, and I was pissed because they went to overtime, right? Or what did they do? I know they went. No, they went up. Oh, go ahead.
It was the Jaguars they had a chance to come down the field again, right? It was 30 to 30 to 29. The Texans took the lead, but the Jaguars still had a chance to go down the field and kick a field goal and all that. And you took it to, it was like a pick six or a fumble or a touchdown for the cover.
Yeah, it was 6.5 points. They covered by the 7 points. It was insane.
Yeah.
Pathetic. Jaguars suck. God.
Yeah, 26 points.
And that was sketchy.
Yeah, it was. And I went to go look it up. That has never happened. That many points and that many time. 26 points in 12 minutes. Never happened in the NFL. First time it's ever happened. So that is unbelievable to me. So what are we going to say here, folks, about the Jaguars, okay? We'll do brief there. Okay. Travis Hunter, probably done for the year. Brian Thomas Jr., I know he's beat up. I don't know if he's playing for this game. I don't think he is. Let me double check here in real time for you folks. He's limited in practice today as of Thursday. Hunter Long is also limited practice. Parker Washington was limited in his return to practice. He actually stepped up well for them. He's been a nice little spark for them. So
also 4 of their 5 offensive linemen are questionable. I see on ESPN.
Yeah, and they still have Jacoby Myers. Okay, so that's a nice one. Bren Strange, they need him to come from that injury list because he helped them out a lot. Their quarterback, their bread and butter is that they could get after the quarterback. They could sack the quarterback, but their rush defense is not that good, and their secondary is not that good. So there's nothing much to say here, folks. I'm taking the Chargers to cover the 2.5 points. I think the Jaguars are frauds. I think eventually we'll see that. They will come down to earth. I know Liam Coleman will try to scheme up something to good, but I think Justin Herbert using his legs, because Joel is out, using his legs to get out of trouble, I think that'll do enough, and I think they could win this by a field goal or more. But so, dude, I'm taking the Chargers. The Jaguars, they're on my don't bet list and also my kill list for letting that happen. 26 points.
Yeah, I agree with you. Chargers are playing too well right now for this to only be 2.5 points. I don't understand this line, to be honest. So
Yeah, I was a
I'm
little
going
worried about it too.
Chargers.
I thought it was like a sucker's bet or something. I'm like, wow, it's like the Jaguars just let David Mills beat them. I was like, okay, I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I would, I want, I would be smirking from ear to ear if I see the Chargers blow the brakes off, and that'd be so great. Now let's go to actual now one of the games of the week. I mean, there's multiple of them, folks, and we're going all the way to the disappointed Bills, Buffalo. We got the Buccaneers versus the Bills. The Buffalo Bills being favored surprisingly, 5.5 points. Over under being 47.5. I say surprisingly because, folks, did not anybody watch that Bills game? I mean, the Dolphins dropped 30 something on them and blew them out. It wasn't even a game. It was 16-0, folks, when at the first half in the game, and they had no chance. Since the first quarter, the Bills were done against Miami, and now they're favored by 5.5 points. I don't get it. Well, let's stay on the Bucks here. The Buccaneers, I know they're getting some good news back. They're starting right tackle, I believe. I believe he will. I think he's getting towards playing this game. I think they took him off the injury list, or get him back. He's one of the better right tackles in the game. That's finally some positive news from their injury list. Godwin practice and Bucky Irving actually practice. They want Bucky back more than anything because Bucky Irving he's a really good running back, top 10 in my opinion at catching and rushing. So they probably want him back more than they want Godwin. But don't hold your breath on Godwin. That guy, I think we either be lucky to get him. I think they should plan to maybe have him come in the playoffs or something. Also, Antoine Field Jr., Reddick didn't practice, and Jr. was questionable. But besides that, dude, the Buccaneers defense, it's nothing to write home about. They've lost 2 out of 3 games now. Just like last year, I kept on saying before you jumped on this podcast, I always said their defense is Swiss cheese, and it is. It's not as bad as last year, but because they did draft 2 corners and they went in the draft that just passed, but you can't pass them there, but you could still pass them. They're like below average in the passing and below average in the rushing game. So nobody in this defense really scares me. It's all about the offense. But in the offense, it's Baker Mayfield and 2 rookies doing all the work: Tez Johnson and your boy from Ohio State and Cade Otton. And that worries me, man. It's like I do like your boy from Ohio State, Mbuke. And I think he's proven to be he'll probably get damn near rookie of the year. But I don't know, man. Do you like this Buccaneers team? As in, like, do you think that they lost 2 or 3 games? What I'm getting to is, do you think it's the injuries are finally to come to roost here? And are we going to see because they got a hard schedule coming the next 2 games? Do you think it's going to finally, they're not going to be able to keep up with the better teams?
Yeah, I think it's starting to look that way. I think they just got a little unlucky with the injury bug this year. Them in full health, they are a dangerous team, but I don't think I don't know. They're not in the top tier for sure. I think they're like a playoff. They're like a first round of the playoffs kind of team. Like, get bounced out.
Yeah, and the thing about the Buccaneers is like it all they're another team that it all depends on Baker Mayfield. It always depends on the quarterback, but I'm saying Baker Mayfield has to do extra running out because the injuries on the offensive line and injuries to his weapons. He has to run and use his leg. He has to sacrifice his body. So it all depends that Baker Mayfield is going to play basically Josh Allen the way he plays it. and that's how it's going to be. They're going to keep up with the with the Bills. But let's talk about the Bills. More and more they're looking like frauds to me. They lost 3 out of the last 5 games, losing the Patriots, Falcons, and Dolphins, and losing the Falcons and Dolphins is embarrassing in my opinion. And if you look at the teams they beat the Jets, Dolphins, and Saints, and they beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs being their best win, but I think that's an outlier. Because they always beat the goddamn Chiefs in the season, which I don't understand. But other than that, they beat the Ravens too, 41-40. I'm not impressed by this win list. Okay, I'm not whatsoever. They let the Dolphins just destroy them. I don't know why, but Kincaid is probably out for this game. They have no other weapons, but I don't like any of the weapons. Coleman, Shakir, these are guys who are wide receiver 3s. Maybe Shakir's a 2, but it's a lot of tight ends. I do not know why they just don't feed. They don't give Cook. Cook had 13 carries against the Dolphins. 13 carries. Cook should be getting 20 to 25 carries a game, and then have Allen work off that. God knows why they're getting off Cook. I do not know. They're a better team when they're a run-oriented team. Yes, you have Josh Allen. The guy can make miracles. He can use his legs. He has a cannon for an arm. Top 2, top 3 quarterback in the league. Top maybe 1, people say. But this needs to be a running team because there's nobody on this team weapons-wise that scares you, in my opinion. I don't know, dude. I don't like the Bills. This particular defense, their secondary is good, but you can run on them like nobody's business. What do you think about the Bills? Do you think they can still change it, as the season's 6, 7 weeks and 8 weeks, or do you think like this is where they're going to be and this is what they got to work with?
I think they'll turn it around somewhat. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team. I think they're really hard to bet because you just never know. Sometimes they lay an egg and other times they win by 30. There doesn't seem to be too much in between, it feels like, at least when you're watching them. So I struggle with them. They're obviously not doing well though, but they're gonna have to get to a point where it's like they need to turn it around, and I think it's probably this game.
Shit or get off the pot. The Patriots are ahead of them. The Patriots schedule is easy. It's maybe the easiest schedule left in the NFL. So they gotta do something. This is gonna be the battle of the quarterbacks. It's just what it is. Josh Allen has 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Baker Mayfield has 16 touchdowns, only 2 picks. And it's all about, I do lean towards the wide receiver room, even with their injuries, more than the wide receiver room of the Bills. But I like the Bills running back because Cook has almost 1,000 yards rushing, or he gets 920. But just give him the ball. If the Bills are going to win this game, you have to give Cook the ball. You have to feed him because I feel like that's their best way. And then they could do play action to their tight ends that they like doing. I'll let you take this one, man. I took the last 2. Do you think it's gonna be a good game? The spread is 5.5. It is a lot for a team that's probably gonna make the playoffs and probably win their division, the Buccaneers. But who do you like?
I like the Buccaneers. I think the Bucs have played everybody hard. They got beat pretty bad by the Lions, but otherwise they've kept it close and they've beaten good teams like the Seahawks. So I think they can at least keep it within the 5.5.
Yeah, I actually, if anybody wants to listen to this, I like the under a lot in this game. I think the Bills, I think this is going to be like a 20-24 kind of game, something like that, or 27-20. This one's tough because, I feel like Vegas is baiting you to take the Buccaneers plus the 5.5 because the Bills losing the way they did to the Miami Dolphins. I want to take the Buccaneers, but I think I'm gonna take the Bills because, like, if you don't make up for this terrible loss you did with the Dolphins, if that's not motivation enough for you to do something like, hey, we got embarrassed, we got to turn around and show people that we're that team, then you know what, you might as well. Okay, you'll get to the playoffs, but nobody's afraid of you. But this is the perfect time for people to tell people what we can do as the Buffalo Bills. And we're still one of the better teams in the league. This is the best time to do it, So I'm going to take them with a hope and a prayer. I wouldn't be surprised if Buccaneers win this outright, but I'm going to hope that this Bills team want to prove something to this and show people that they are worth their weight. And I think they're gonna have to feed ball to Josh to Cook. Just feed him the goddamn ball, Bills, and then Bills organization, and you guys will reap the benefits of that. But let's now go to the battle in the NFC North, baby. We got the Bears versus the Vikings, with the Minnesota Vikings being favored 2.5 and the over under 48.5. That's a big number. You know, the Vikings. I said the Vikings are being fair. Sorry, folks. I am dead tired. I can't wait for the holidays. My job's been working me like a fiddle. So I'm surprised that it's the Vikings are favored by 2.5. I thought this would have been almost a pick 'em, like 1.5. But 2.5, I'm a little surprised about. The Bears. What do we talk about the Bears? They are they're so dependent on some last minute I don't know, some last minute luck, some last minute magic to win the game. Don't forget they're losing, folks, to the Bengals, and Caleb Williams was running the ball a lot. He's looking good. I mean, I'm not dogging Caleb Williams. Well, he looks good-ish, if I should say. I don't know if I would say that he's been good, because I like his ratio for, he's 13 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, but his completion rating is 60%. I don't like that whatsoever. Also, he's good for him and good for this team. They finally turned around. He's only been sacked 14 times, so that's way different than he was last year. So that alone's a good mark for them. But the Bears, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, you can't. This can't keep up. Where you need a Caleb Williams to pull a hat out of his ass. I'm sorry, I said the Bengals. I said the Bengals were ahead of them. The Bengals, they needed Caleb Williams to win that game for the Bengals the last minute, and they needed the same thing with the Giants. They needed Jackson Dart to get hurt, and then they needed some last minute magic, because Jackson Dart, if he doesn't get hurt in that game, I think they probably lose that game. But this is what I'm talking about the Bears. Now, the Bears, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've won 6 out of the last 7 games. Really good. But they beat the Cowboys, terrible defense. Raiders, garbage. Commanders, garbage. Saints, garbage. Lost to the Ravens. Bengals, garbage. Giants, mostly garbage. Garbage road teams they beat. Okay, so I'm not impressed by any of those teams. I'm more impressed that they stopped the Cowboys from scoring 30 points. The Cowboys have scored 14 against them. Okay, decent. Other than that, god awful teams to play against. What do you think about the Bears, man? Like, I don't. They have the weapons. They have plenty of weapons. I like now this dual running back threat of that rookie and Swift. I think they need to focus on that more than having Caleb Williams leading the offense. I think they let these 2 running backs feed the fuel and feed this offense, and then work off that. I think that's what they got to do. And then it keeps their defense, which is not so great. It keeps them off the field. What do you think about them, man? Like, I know that right now they're ahead of the Packers in the wild card, but even with the Packers having a better losing record, I don't think anybody thinks the Bears are better than the Packers.
No, and I really hope the Packers sweep them this year. Their defense is still really bad. I think, they've beaten a lot of almost all the teams that they quote unquote should beat. And I think that's mostly due to good coaching. Caleb has played well, but I think Ben Johnson has done a really good job with the offense overall. If they have a better defense, this team could be I don't want to say contender, but they're showing signs of life. But yeah, Caleb just doesn't have the consistency. It seems like he can start and finish games, but the middle is just where they get lost a little bit. So they're not terrible, but they are not a great team, not a playoff team.
Yeah, I mean, I always told one of our friends, our mutual friend, me and Adam, that the Bears always still think it's 1985, and they keep on going great defense, and their offense always sucks. But now their defense sucks. Their defense is allowing 29 points 28 points, damn near 28 points a game, which is 28th ranked in the league. So what happened? I do not know what happened to this team. I know people like to say the injuries to the secondary, but they're not getting after the quarterback either. So they need another edge. So I don't trust this defense. It's not what I think it is. It's not what people know the Bears are for. So, they're in a heater right now. it's one of those heaters. It's like, man, is it? Are they that good? Are they? Come on, folks. I know. Now, will the Bears make the playoffs? Maybe. They have a good chance, but I wouldn't be. If the Bears get in the playoffs, you heard it here, folks. I will consider them one and done in the playoffs. That's it. That's how much I trust I got in the Chicago Bears. But just as much as trust as I got in the Bears is the same amount of trust I got in the Vikings. The Vikings. How can you trust JJ McCarthy? All right, you're the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, man. Or you're the GM? How much of a leash are you letting JJ McCarthy go until you're like, okay, this guy's not the guy. We got to go draft another dude.
You mean the weirdo in the locker room that's talking about his alter ego number that he calls 9, and he's like doing the crazy eyes, and like, I mean, he's like a less cool Jameis Winston. I don't know what the hell that guy is.
Yes, that's the one. What's that?
I don't know. I get that he's an intense dude, but man, he had a terrible game. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know. That is hard to work with.
McCarthy led the team against the Ravens because that's what they lost to. He led them in rushing, and he threw for 42 times. JJ McCarthy should never throw 42 times. Yeah. The dumbest thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They have Mason and Aaron Jones Sr. Just feed them the ball.
Yeah. I was going to say, I listened to a couple podcasts this week who are mostly Vikings fans. And one of the biggest things they all talked about was Justin Jefferson, how he played and how he kind of gave up in this game. And I'm worried that he is just kind of checked out because he knows McCarthy sucks. Where Jefferson has never been that kind of wide receiver. I'm starting to see signs of that, and I don't know if it's because of McCarthy, and he knows what's the point this season.
Right, and also, folks, talk about terrible run organizations. These are 2 terrible run organizations. I don't care what anybody says. The Vikings, they had a lot of those teams that made the playoffs, but they haven't won a championship since what? I don't. When's the last time? They've never won. Yeah, they've won Super Bowl.
Never been.
Okay.
No, they've just never won.
Right. So I bring that up because this is the same team that let go of Sam Darnold, and look what they're facing right now. If they had Sam Darnold right now, and they'd be I'd say they'd arguably be in first place right now in the NFC North because it's so tightly 100%. Right now. So this just terrible moves all around. Their defense is something we always know they can hang their head on. They have weapons galore. It just comes down to is this. I think I'll let you take this one, Adam, but what it comes down is this to me. Do you think McCarthy could put something together to beat a terrible Bears defense? And do you think the Bears could pull some last minute magic and win against, they have better weapons. I mean, no, they don't, but I'll take the wide receivers out of Minnesota more than I'll take the Bears. But do you think the Bears, who have a more competent quarterback, can do some last minute win again? I don't know, dude. Like this game is, Vegas says it's 2.5. It's very hard to predict.
It is. I think the one thing that has been a shift in the last couple of weeks is the Vikings defense has shown up. They got Van Ginkel back and their offensive line has improved. Again, like I always say, I'm on tilt with the Bears. I don't know how to pick them. I don't like McCarthy, but I do like the Vikings defense, and I think that this will be a big test for Caleb Williams to see if he can handle the Vikings defense. But I think there's going to be some turnovers, and I like the Vikings. I do. I don't like the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings.
Yeah. This one is tough, man, because they've lost 3 out of the last 4 games. The Vikings, they did lose the Eagles and Chargers and Ravens. There's nothing to sneeze about. Those are all playoff teams. And they beat the Lions. God knows how they did that. And man, it's tough. I think the Vikings can do just enough and win by a field goal myself. I kind of lean towards the Bears. If it was 3.5, 4.
That's what I see on ESPN. What do you see the line is?
2.5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's even better for me.
Yeah. Because I do a lot of this research on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So That's where I got it. It probably went to 3.5 maybe because people were hammering the Vikings to cover the 2.5, and now to move to 3.5. But as 2.5, I'm still gonna take the Vikings. They need to have Jones Senior and they need to have Mason 20, 15 carries apiece, and then have JJ working in with Addison and Naylor and Jay Jetta. But I can't trust either of these teams, and I never know what I'm getting from the Chicago Bears. They're a crapshoot. So I will just take hoping the Vikings defense steps up in a NFC North battle. Then the 48.5, I do not know how it's that high of a number. I don't see 49 points getting scored in that game. But give us both the Vikings to cover the 2.5 points. Now let's go to a game that's the lowest number, I believe, in this weekend. It's going to be boring as hell. We have the Texans versus the Titans, with the Texans being favored by 7.5 points, and the over/under 37.5. News alerts: CJ Stroud has been called out for this game. He's not playing for the concussion, so that's 2 games in a row. The Texans, which they should have lost to the Jaguars. Let's be honest, folks. They should have lost to the Jaguars, but they pulled the biggest miracle known to man, and they beat the Jaguars. And they're 1 game from 500. They're 4-5, but one of the best comebacks, one of the better ones I've ever seen in the NFL. So good for them. Davis Mills, he's not terrible. You could do worse as a backup. He started, I believe, 1 whole season for them, so he has some experience. He was 27 for 45 with 2 touchdowns and 1 interceptions for 292 yards, so not bad. What's his name? Nico Collins is back. They needed him like nobody's business, and they got Christian Kirk back, and the rookies are looking like they're Higgins. The rookies looking really good. Woody Marks is now the lead back. Nick Chubb, those legs are probably giving up, but we don't have to keep on talking about you guys. It was a hell of a comeback. Now, the question is, do you believe that comeback was actually luck, or do you think it's a thing that this is the Texans and they actually could put up points like this, or they could be consistent like this with this offense? Davis Mills, like I said, I'm not too high on the guy, but I don't know, dude. We all know it's about the defense of the Texans. It's that Hunter and Will Anderson. I think one of them had like 3 or 4 sacks in that game against the Jaguars, because he was sacked 5 times. Let me check that out, because I do want to see how many sacks that one guy had. That Hunter had 3.5 sacks that game. So that's what it is. The Texans can murder row you because how good their defense is. And if the defense could just play top notch, and David Mills plays safe ball, not turn the ball over, that could be a good recipe for the people playing against like the Titans. Because I mean, what can you say about the damn Titans? You know what I mean? You got anything to say about the Texans? We know it's all about the defense with them, and I feel like I said, they got to play a little safe ball. Just don't turn the ball over, Mills. Just throw some check downs, get some first downs, a couple field goals. I think that's the best play. Now the Titans, they were on a bye. What can you say about the Titans? we talk about this all the time, folks. I think some good news maybe is that they did cover against the Chargers the last time they played. So they did put up some points. Now, like, they had a defensive touchdown. I think the Titans had like I want to make sure. Yeah, they got a interception. Yes, I remember. That's why the Titans got like all their points, all from they didn't get one offensive touchdown.
Special teams, a pick six, or they had some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, a pick six, a kick return for a punt return for a touchdown, and then 2 field goals to win it. So 2 field goals to stay and cover the number. But like I said, now the good news I'm trying to pull out of this, because I'm trying to pull something out of this, is that They covered against the Chargers, and there's a chance, I believe, they get Simmons back for this game. Now, Simmons and he was limited participant for today as in Thursday, and so was Calvin Ridley, and they did Calvin Ridley and that tight end Okanawako. I said that wrong. So if they could get those three guys, those are three starters, and Jeffrey Simmons and I want to get his name right. And Tavondre Sweat and Simmons, when they're together last year, they were one of the best rated defensive tackle duels in all the NFL. So that's something they could lay their hat on. If Simmons come back and they have Sweat and him haven't played together since I think all season. So it'll be the first time they play all season. So I know that really may not mean a lot to people, but that might do something to possibly keep the game enough where they can cover the number. So that's a positive that they might get Simmons back and that they cover against the Chargers. Other than that, folks, there is nothing else you could pull from this. Cam Ward, I didn't like him coming out of the draft. Maybe he could turn around. I think he'll be just like an average starter in this league. But I think he'll end up being a really good backup. Terrible running back room, rookie wide receivers. That's about it. Adam, I'll take this one. It's not a Mills fan, but you could do worse when it comes to backups. I like Nico Collins though. I like the rookie, but I like the rookie wide receivers more than I like the Titans rookie wide receivers. Not crazy about the running back room, but the defense. I think this defense could terrorize Cam Ward in this offense. I think the Titans would be so grateful that they can even get 10 points in this game. If they could get 2 touchdowns against this Houston defense, they should count their chickens. So with that, dude, I think I'm going to take the Houston to cover the 7.5. I'm not too confident though. Somebody believes that some backdoor crap might happen, but I can't take the Titans offense. So give me the Texans.
Yeah, I haven't picked the Texans yet, or Titans yet this year. I'm not going to start. Texans already beat them 26-0 this year. So I don't know if there's that many players. I know CJ Stroud's out and Simmons are back. There's some guys shifting things around, but I'm going to keep going against the Titans.
Yeah, it's going to be a terrible game. 37.5. So you can watch that game or watch paint dry. So I'll leave it up to you guys. So now let's talk to two teams that are in the same division, but you never know what you're getting from them. Are they going to be good? There's no middle ground. There's no a floor for this team. Either they're very good or they're very bad. You never know. We have the Panthers versus the Falcons. With the the Falcons to be favored by 3.5 points, and the over/unders 41.5. Yeah, dude. I mean, the Panthers. The time I decided to be like that, I'm going to take the Panthers. They're going to cover their number. We both took them in our best bets. They lay an egg. They only score 7 points against Tyler School, whatever they say his name, and they lose. Or shock. Whatever, dude. They lose the Saints 17-7. They just beat the Packers, which is probably the best win of the year. And then you go and drop an egg to the New Orleans Saints. I don't care. It's a divisional. I didn't care that they didn't cover the number. But you think they at least win by a field goal. I don't know what's going on. We got to start talking about Bryce Young. He's been like, I don't know. He had 120 yards, 125 yards it was that he passing. One interception. That rookie they drafted in the first round, is he good? We don't know because the quarterback play hasn't been that good. This is a running team, which as they should. Rico and Chuba Hubbard, which they should just focus on all the time. But I don't know. I was hoping they would win that game, man. I don't know. What's your take on the Panthers? But they've now lost 2 out of the last 3 games. They got that win against the Packers. Do you think they're going to be falling down to earth now? The hype will went too up for them?
I do. Yeah, I don't believe in CJ Stroud. I think besides the play on the field, the worst.
Stroud.
Bryce Young.
Yeah. Same draft, though. Same draft class.
Same draft. And speaking of the draft, the worst thing about Bryce Young is that he gifted the Bears so many picks and basically helped turn that joke of a franchise around single-handedly with one of the worst trades in the decades. So I hate him for a lot of reasons. But he's just, I mean, look at the guy. He's too small. He's not going to be a long-term franchise quarterback there, in my opinion. So I just don't like what they got going. They've had a couple wins, but like you said, you never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, and the last 3 or 4 games, he only has like 1 touchdown pass and like 3 picks. So
He had
Bryce
like 100 yards against the Packers.
Yeah,
like
and he had 100. He had 100,
yeah.
120 yards against the Saints. Yeah, and folks, I know their offense weapons are not that good, but their offensive line is good. Their offensive line is not bad. They could protect him. So you never know what you're getting with Bryce Young. I think he has 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He's only been sacked 14 times. Like I said, they do protect him, but you don't know what you're getting with the guy. You don't know where he's throwing. Like, he's not a starting quarterback in this. Well, he is. I think he's a viable. He could be one of those guys who, like, I think could be a great backup. You need a pinch start, but folks, I do not like him. His completion rate is 61%. You don't know if this guy's any good. McMillan, I think he's actually not bad, but over 600 yard receiving. But besides him, you got nobody to throw the ball to. Leggette's garbage. Sanders is garbage. Trimble's garbage. So they have no other wide receivers besides that one guy. But this is a running team, and that's what you got to think on. Are they gonna pound the crap out of the Atlanta Falcons? And but it's a divisional game. I'm not entirely sure. They're also they also, their front seven has been picking up a little bit, but nobody. I'm really I don't know. Bryce Brown has not been stepping up. I don't want to talk about the Panthers that much anymore. They're Dr. Mr. Hyde, and they lost 3 games. And talking about the Falcons, look at the Falcons. What can you say about them as well? They're on a 4-game losing streak. I took them on the under team total wins before the season started because, I wasn't sold on Penix, even though, and they have one fastball. It's Drake London, as I'm throwing the ball. Everybody else is, they're not really pulling their weight. And then it's BJ Robinson and Tyler Algier, which they should be their whole team. But I'm not sold on Michael Penix. That's just it. Michael Penix has, what does he have? 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, but his completion rate's 58%. His completion rate's 58%. So he's throwing a lot of 50-50 balls there. I'm surprised when he has 3 interceptions. Dude, with this offense, with a competent quarterback, I thought it'd be much better. I think both these teams are a case of their quarterbacks. You just can't trust them. Like they're below average quarterbacks. They have weapons, but what are you going to do with their weapons? They both rely on the running game. We just talked about the Panthers. BJ Robinson is an ace running back. Guy's amazing, and a good catching running back as well. The defense has been playing better. They do sack the quarterback. They do blitz a lot, but you can run on this team, the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, the Panthers did put 30 points against them, 30-0 actually, and it was in Carolina, but this one's in Atlanta. So, dude, I'll let you take this one away. The Atlanta Falcons, they're favored by 3.5. Does the hook scare you? Do you trust them to cover this number? It's tough for me.
Yeah, the biggest issue I have with the Falcons, besides their inconsistent play, is that rush defense. They're averaging 146 yards. They're giving up rushing a game, which is a lot, and that is what the Panthers rely on. The Falcons have looked better in the last couple weeks, though. So I think I'm gonna go Falcons.
Yeah, this is tough. You know what? I'm just on this. I'm gonna take a divisional team. I'll take what points I can get to two teams that are the quarterbacks are not so trustworthy. 2 teams that are both relying on the running game. So this could be, I think, the number is 41.5 total number. So kind of maybe a close kind of game. So I'm gonna take the 3 points, and I'll take the hook, especially 3.5 points. And a game where I think is gonna be, both the teams I don't think are gonna make the playoffs, but I'll take what I can, and whatever. So now let's fly all the way to New York City, baby. We have the vaunted, the disappointing Green Bay Packers
Nah.
versus the Giants. Packers fair by 7.5 points. Over unders 42.5. Well, the Packers, they got a bit. They're a bit hurt. I don't. I didn't look. I looked yesterday, so I didn't. I don't know about the injury report today, but are they gonna have? Are they gonna have the? Who's gonna be their wide receivers? Is it gonna be Christian Watson and that guy who played corner? Is Golden back? Can you give me
I
a
don't think
Packers injury
Golden's
report?
back. I haven't looked today. I think I heard yesterday that Golden was practicing, but I don't know that he's gonna play. Obviously Dobbs is healthy. Watson's gonna play. Yeah, I hope I don't see Bo Melton out there again. He was fine last year, but he did not look good against the Eagles. So Wicks has played pretty well. We just got a bunch of like wide receiver 2s and 3s. So we got plenty of those guys.
And who's on the who? What was it? Jenkins who got pinned in the IR?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's starting center, starting guard.
Yep, center, and the guy that came in for him. They keep switching guys around. I don't know. The line they really need to figure out. So that is obviously the biggest point of emphasis on the team. I'm not sure who the center was that came in.
Okay. Ultimately, I know you were more worried about them just getting a win since they lost 2 in a row. But in my opinion, what do you think they have to do to win, but also cover against the Giants? If anybody doesn't know, Jackson Dart is not playing this game. It's Jameis Winston, and Mike Kafka is now the new head coach, who was offensive coordinator. So there's a big change up with the Giants. Does that add a spark? But what do you think? What do the Packers have to do, not just to win, which I know ultimately you want that just to happen, but how do they cover this number?
I think this is like the perfect get right game for the Packers.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. I think this secondary is not good for the Giants, and also Jameis Winston airs the ball out. So one,
he lets it fly, baby.
He lets it fly. So hopefully we get turnovers and it's not an issue. But number 2, you got to open up the damn offense and try and score some points. There's no need to be conservative. Obviously, it's not working. You got to get the offense going, and this is the perfect week, I think, to get some tempo in the offense. Let Jordan Love hit these short intermediate throws to open it up, to hit the deep shots. If we don't score 28, I'm gonna be livid.
Yeah, I think the team total number for the Packers is actually 24 points, 24.5 team total points win. So Adam's like, we need to go above that number. We need to hit higher. You're right. Perfect time to hey, let's open the offense and let's pound this team into the ground in the sand to morale, and also to have people Matt LaFleur to get the monkey off his back, especially with all the media on his ass the last 2 weeks. Yeah. I think Christian Watson's a sneaky play today for people on any player props. I like him to go over his, I think it's 55.5 yards. And I think I like him over that for this game. Definitely. Especially with he's probably he may be wide receiver 1 for this game for you guys. You start using, I know Musgrave is not as good as Kraft, but use him like Kraft. Get him out and open, get him out in the space, get him out in the middle. Start doing that. Play him like you played Kraft, okay? Because when you guys had Kraft, really opened it was really, it opened the whole offense for you guys. Yes, use Jacobs. He's doing good. I think he had better last year, but he's doing good this year. Still has a lot of crap ton of touchdowns. There's not much to say here, folks, about the Giants. No Jackson Dart, no Scatterboo. Those 2 guys gave a spark to them. Even though they lost a lot of games, they're always in it with it. Their best wide receivers, Slayton and Robinson. Singletary and Tracer, the running backs, because of Scatterboo being hurt. The front 7 can get after you a little bit, but they have fallen off a bit, and their secondary is garbage. All right, I'll let you take this one. Do you think the Packers bounce back? 2 games of loss. Do you think they bounce back, but also cover, a significant number, 7.5 points?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the Packers lose this, the season's over, and LaFleur's job is finally actually started to be on the hot seat. I don't see that happening. The one little risk I do see is that, the Giants' O line is a smaller. Sorry, their D line is more of like speed guys to get after the quarterback. So it's gonna tempt LaFleur to just keep running the damn ball. Um, and maybe it's gonna work. But for me, I think the Packers have to come out hot and really punch the Giants in the mouth. So I think the Packers cover.
Yeah, it's they've covered only one game out of the last 4 games, against the one in particular was a Steelers game.
A lot
Uh,
of their spreads were like 13 points though. Like Packers
yeah,
had huge spreads for most of the
yeah.
year.
The Panthers game in particular was 12 and a half, 13 points, something like
Yeah.
something crazy like that. Um, and I believe the Bengals was a big number two, and the Bengals covered by, I think they covered by a point and a half, I believe. But I get that, and this is tough for me, man. I don't want to, like, all the signs say to pick the Giants. I mean, no, the Packers to cover, but I think the Packers, with that defense in particular, will cause some turnovers, and they will get after Jamie Winston. I'm more confident that Packers defense could do something to cause more havoc against the Giants offense than anything. That's how they cover this number. So I could see them winning this to actually like 28 to 28 14, something like that. I think they could cover this by 10 points. I think 7.5 is not enough. I reckon haven't took the Packers to cover. I think I haven't took them in. I think I took the Panthers to cover, took the Eagles to cover. I took the Steelers to cover. So I've been on the other side against the Packers, but 7.5 points. Jamie Winston, and not those, he doesn't have much weapons to throw to. No, I think Packers is a good time to buy low on them, as I always say, because people are low down on them because they lost 2 games in a row. Perfect bounce back game for the Packers. And you're right. If they don't win this game in like a decisive, by a big, like, proving a lot of people were wrong, it's just gonna start more rumors and chaos with that organization, because this is a team you should beat by 10 points. This is a team that is not going nowhere, who only have 2 wins for the season. And if you want to show your moxie that you're one of the best teams in the NFL, and that why you should be ranked the way you were in the beginning of the season, this is the perfect time to do it. Um, Now let's go to the other game of the week, game that I'm really actually pumped up for, because even though this team scares me the most, well, let's just get to it. The Seahawks versus the Rams. The Rams being favored by 3.5, and the over under is 48.5. When I was talking about the team that scares me the most, it's the Seattle Seahawks that scares me more than the Rams. I only say that because an Eagles fan, because Vic Fangio has the number of the Kyle Shanahan tree, meaning McVay, all those guys. Vic has a dynamite record against them. So that's why I'm not afraid of the Rams, because we've been the Rams now consecutive years, and we know that system. Seattle's a different beast because I like their defense a lot. Let's just get with them. Their defense is, it gets after the quarterback. They're lightning fast. They're just all over the field. You see them, and they're getting healthier and healthier. Like they were banged up at one point when all their secondary guys were out, but they are getting healthier and healthier every day. I just want to take like Josh Jobe, one of the starting corners. He was out for concussion last. Now he's full participant. Ernest Jones, their starting linebacker, is limited in practice. I know they hope to get him back, but other than that, they do miss Reed from the thumb surgery, but they're now pretty much healthy a lot, all over the place, and I think that's a good thing for them against this Rams offense, because Matthew Stafford, who I think is second right now in odds wise to win the MVP, he's having a killer year. Matthew Stafford. I mean, the days of like the Detroit Lions and Calvin Johnson days, he's kind of having offense. It looks amazing, his numbers. But sticking with the Steelers, they've won 7 of the last 8 games. Sam Darnold is having, I mean, I don't think he'd be in the MVP vote, but you can't deny that he's like having 17 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, 71% completion rating, 2,262 yards. The guy is killing it whatsoever. And one of the guys who's going to be leading, will be in the top 30 votes, I believe, in Offensive Player of the Year, JSN, your boy. That guy's killing it. I believe he has over 1,000 yards receiving now. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets to 1,700, 1,800 yards receiving. That guy is killing it. He's a monster. They double team him. His route running is just spectacular. They put up 30 points a game. They only let 19 points scored against them, so that's a good ass ratio. They're sixth in passing with almost 250 yards passing a game. They got a good combo in Charbonnet and Walker. Rashid Shaheed, that guy, just they need to keep on working in the system, working. So Rashid Shaheed, JSN, and Horton, the rookie, with AJ Barner, the tight end. I love this team, dude. I do. I really like the Seattle Seahawks a lot. That's why I said they scare me. What do you think about them, man? I think. Do you think they're going to be? Well, Sam Darnold looked really great last year, and then the Sam Darnold that we kind of know when he fell down to earth in the playoffs. But do you think this year, they're their team to be reckoned with?
I think they're the best team in the league right now.
Hey.
Easy. Yeah. Definitely not the Eagles. I love their defense. I love their running game. Like you said, everybody knows it's going to JSN. They can't stop it. But the way that their defense works and how reliant they are on their running game and how good their running game is, Sam Darnold doesn't have to win these games by himself. So, no. And also teams can't just pin it back and try and get after him all the time because they have to respect the run. So everything's working for them in all phases. I think they're a great team. And yeah, I just love what they're doing.
Yeah, and the kicker is he's only been sacked 10 times. Darnold,
yeah.
A sack a game. Basically, people are getting to position. So they are a full-blown. They drafted a bunch of those guys too on defense, and they have turned out to be great. They made that trade for Ernest Jones last year, and I told people that's a solid trade. Not only was he just a really great run defender, it's like because last year they really had trouble stopping the run. Drafting him and all those guys they drafted, now that they look like a lot of them look like home runs out of the park. So yeah, great drafting. They're a full-fledged, both sides of the ball. There are almost no weaknesses kind of team. Now let's talk about the Rams, because I know we went on a kind of a rant about the Seahawks, and we love them, but the Rams are rolling too, people. The Rams are rolling too. They have won, I believe, 5 out of the last 6 games. They're rolling teams. Puka Nacua, I know he's not like established as he's like 400 yards or 300 yards behind JSN, but the guy's an ace too. Arguably the best slot wide receiver. I think JSN plus slot and outside too. These guys are all over their field. Okay, these guys have both wide receivers, great wide receivers. Devontae Adams did have an oblique injury. That's something to keep an eye at, and because he's having a really good year, kind of resurgence here. I know he was happy to leave he was glad to leave the Raiders, but he was limited practice with his oblique, and they're pretty much healthy too. They almost have no injuries on their team. They're rolling people. Matthew Stafford has, I believe, 25 touchdowns and only like 2 interceptions. The guy is killing. Oh, by the way, the idiot who, by the way, this is low because we're in a fantasy team together. Some guy dropped. I don't know if you saw. He's my starting quarterback now. Somebody dropped Matthew Stafford in our league, and I just go pick him up because he was on a bye. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll pick him up. I don't care if he's on a bye. Like, guys are more on the job. Matthew Stafford, 67% completion. Because the guy's killing, like I said. The thing about the Rams is everywhere they look really good. Dude, they have 2 great wide receivers, as I said, in Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Pay attention to the injury report. They have decent tight ends. Now we'll have to see about. I don't know if he's. Let me see. That left tackle got in trouble, Jackson, because a woman said that there's a sex tape thing. I don't know if you saw that. So
The tape? No, definitely. I'll look for it though.
Yeah. She's suing him for a sex video apparently, and I don't know if there's gonna be. So keep an eye if he's gonna be disciplined for that, because that can be, what do they call that? Revenge porn. So just keep an eye on that. I don't think he's gonna miss this game probably, but if something happens with the starting left tackle, that's kind of bad news. But back to this, Devontae Adams. Their defense, they could sack the quarterback like crazy. Their secondary, that's why they went to go make that trade. Good pick. Secondary's good, above average, good. It's not great. They probably want to shore that up a little bit. They're second best. They put up almost 28 points a game, and they only allow 17 points a game. So another good big ratio. So, dude, I think what it comes down to this. Okay, the Rams are at home. That really doesn't mean nothing in LA. If everybody tells you, like, when the team's in LA, the other opponent's team has like more fans sometimes, and I've been to LA several times. They care about the Dodgers and Lakers, and that's pretty much it. For that state. But anyways, besides that, it's what leak is going to come in the dam? Like, who is going to break first? And I don't know I don't know, man. I'll let you take this one, but I'll let you see, like, we both think the Rams are legit. I think both these guys are going to make the playoffs, but do you believe the Rams, Matthew Stafford, who is a statue, by the way, he if you can get to him, Stafford could run, by the way. Sam Darnold can actually use his legs. He is not like Matthew Stafford. So my thing is, both these guys don't get sacked that much. So who do you like, man? Do you think the Rams offense can penetrate this Seattle's defense, or do you think that the Seattle's offense has a better chance penetrating the Rams defense? I mean, these teams don't have almost no weaknesses, so it's tough.
No, yeah, I think this is most people's top two teams in the league. Maybe not most, but a lot of people's top two teams. For me, I'm just going to take the points.
The state of the state of Pennsylvania probably doesn't.
Yeah, that's not many people. It's small. But yeah, I'm just gonna take the points. I think the Rams could get out early. I think they have that a little bit more high-powered offense. So I don't know how the Seahawks could play from behind in that situation. But I think it's gonna be. I mean, this is like Super Bowl caliber teams, top teams playing. So I can't wait to watch this one, and I just want to take the points because I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah, and by the way, if you look at the two conferences, NFC I think has way more better teams than AFC. I truly do think. I truly do. Like, the top teams for the Broncos, and I think the Broncos are not for one and done in the playoffs, I believe. But besides the point, that's exactly my thinking. I think this is gonna be smash mouth football. It's gonna be like the biggest guys in town meeting each other in the middle, and it's gonna be a bar fight. And I think that it's going to come down to, last minute. I don't think there's going to be a blowout whatsoever. If Devontae Adams is going to be out for this game too, that's something to watch out for. Obliques are something, not them, and groins. They hurt wide receivers because they got to turn and twist. So I'm with you. I'm taking solely the 3.5 points, and I think that's the best play here, because I think this is gonna be a slugfest to the end. And if you give me 3.5 points to a team that is dynamite in the Seahawks, I'll take it. So give us both the Seattle Seahawks. And now let's go to a game that I think is gonna be really good. I don't know why this total number is really that much, but we have the 49ers versus the Cardinals, with the 49ers being favored by only 2.5 points, man. We both like the Cardinals. We see how tough they are. We were on the other end of the Cardinals last week. We both like I think we both like the Seahawks in that, and the Seahawks blew the doors off them. When do we start saying about the Cardinals? The Cardinals are they're in it, like we said. But the Cardinals, let's see here. They've lost 6 out of the last 7 games. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they lost 6 of the last 7 games. So they are covering, but I think, I don't know. Do you think the Seahawks game was like, okay, yeah, the Cardinals are always in it, but this was that's a shellacking, and this is more to come. Do you think the Cardinals still have some fight in them?
I think they have some fight. I mean, obviously the Seahawks are just in another tier of team. I think the Cardinals are a solid team, but as the season goes on, I don't think the Cardinals are going anywhere. So they'll continue to slide.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys on their injured list, by the way. A lot of starters: Will Johnson, Max Melton, Browning,
Marvin Harrison Jr.'s out.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison
Forgot
Jr.'s
about
out.
that. That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. It's gonna be McBride City. Your boy, because you got him in fantasy. So
Maybe about 40 points.
yeah. Brissett, I do like him. He's great. Really, really better backups. They're defensive feisty, but as I just told you, a lot of defensive starters are hurt, and if they're going to play this game, that means they're beat up, and everybody's beat up a lot. But a lot of people are not on the injured. Not a lot of people have a lengthy injured list like them. So, what I'm trying to say, the Cardinals, and they do get Benson probably back for this game. He'll be the starter, the running back. Him and Bam Knight, and I forget the other guy's name, but I think those running backs are nothing to write home about. And like Adam said, Marvin Harrison, it's going to be Wilson and McBride. And Wilson, I don't even like, so McBride's it. 49ers, I don't know if they are getting a little healthier. I believe Brock Purdy is going to be back for this game. Now, is that good? Is that bad? Mac Jones is, he's playing well. He really well. It'd be very, 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 he held the 49ers in contention to still make the playoffs. Like when Brock Purdy went down with all their injuries, a lot of people probably counted the 49ers out, but Mac Jones kept them in games. They won some key games against the Falcons, against the Rams. So, we'll see. Also, I think Parcells, what's that?
Pearsall. He's back.
Pearsall. Yeah, he was he was a limited participant, but now it looks like he's on his way. I know Ayuk, they want him back, but he's still probably a few weeks away. Their defense they still got all those mountain injuries, folks. Those mountain injuries are permanent injuries. I know the Collins is limited practice. I think what it comes down to this is that do you think Cardinals offense, with all their injuries, can they put up enough points to keep the number close enough on a beat up 49ers defense? Because I think this offense, the 49ers offense, with Ricky back, Juwan Jennings, and obviously Christian McCaffrey, I think they'll be okay. I trust their offense more than I trust their defense. But do you think this Cardinals offense can keep it up with the limited guys they have on this 49ers defense?
No, I don't. I like that the Niners are getting a little healthier. The offense is going to look better.
Bryce Huff is back too.
Yeah. I like the Niners. They've been a tough team this year, especially with all the injuries. So a little bit of health, I think they're better substantially than the Cardinals.
Yeah, and with the Arizona Cardinals, I believe the first game, if I'm right, they played them tough. The 49ers, they lost 6. They only lost by 1 point. But I think this one they're catching them bad. Marvin Harrison, their big shot guy. Oh, the Marshmallow Man, there he is.
Man, he's pissed off. I gotta hold him.
Oh, really? Because you're on doing the podcast here?
Well, I'm usually asleep by 8 o'clock, so they know something's not right in their schedule.
All right, yeah. Folks, Adam sleeps like a Navy SEAL. He goes to bed early, wakes up early. He's up before everybody. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm taking the 49ers 2.5. I thought this number would be actually 4.5, 5 maybe, especially with the injuries. But I think San Francisco are trending the right way a bit, as in health wise. Their defense is still going to be pretty beat up no matter what, but I think this is a good game to bounce back for them. Now let's now go to the great state of Ohio. It's really not the great state of Ohio, and we have the Ravens versus the Browns, with the Ravens being favored by 7.5 and the over under 38.5 points. The Ravens, baby, they're roaring back, man. Lamar Jackson is back. He is a little beat up though. I get that he is injured. He is, I believe, with a knee injury. I know he's limited participants. Let me just double check that for everybody. Oh, he's not on the injury list today, so they must have taken him off on Thursday. Okay, so they took him off the injury report. That's good. But Bateman is not practicing, so keep an eye out for that. Another offensive weapon. Um, so they're rolling, folks. The Baltimore Ravens are roaring. They've won 3 games in a row. They beat the Vikings, they beat the Dolphins, and they beat the Bears. They beat both those teams by either 8 points or more each of those games. So the Ravens are rolling. I like the trade they did in the on the trade deadline for that defensive tackle. They are getting healthier. If you look at their injury list, it's pretty clean. So that means their secondary is doing well. They have all the weapons. Henry, I think you can say that Derrick Henry is maybe maybe he's lost a step. He only had 75 yards rushing against the Vikings, and then he had a good game against the Dolphins, and then he only had 70 yards against the Bears, and that's with Jackson back. So he is not having the season that I think people are hoping him to have. He's still a threat, but I think I think age might be creeping up a little bit, or maybe he's a little banged up. I'm not entirely sure. But I want to see a little more from the Ravens offense. Like, get Zay Flowers more in the open. Like, get that guy out in space. He's great after the yards after the catch. I know they like to using their 2 tight end sets a lot with Likely and Andrews, but get Flowers in some wide open space so he could open the field for everybody else, because they need that desperately. Well, anyways, I think the Ravens are going to win this division. Their defense is getting healthy, man. Do you like them to win the division? And do you think is there anything you want to see more from them?
I do like them to win the division. There's not a lot of competition, but they have to keep scrapping to win. I don't know that they're as good of a team as some people think. Still, I still want to see more of a passing game, like you said. And I don't like that Derrick Henry's taking a step back. That used to be like, unstoppable force, and he is not the same like Hulk type figure that he was the last couple of years. So they're still good, but not great.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, the guy they got in the trade was Draymond Jones, and I really like him. Now he's a full-blown starter for them. Great pickup for them from the Titans. Let's talk about the Browns. Let's briefly talk about the Browns. Okay, I'm sick and tired of the Daniel Gabriel show. Can we close the door on Daniel Gabriel, folks? Okay, he is not a starting quarterback in this league. Okay, is he a backup? Sure, I hope he makes millions of dollars, but he's not a starting back in this league. He's holding back the offense. He's like 5'7", my height, maybe even smaller. God damn it! But I'm not liking anything from this team, from this offense. Okay, this offense runs through Judkins. So I know the play calling was different. They gave it to the Kevin Stefanski gave to the first year offensive coordinator. They still lost the Jets 27-20. They lost to the Patriots, got blown out. Excuse me, but I'm sick and tired of the Daniel Gabriel show. We know about their defense. Myles Garrett's the guy will probably have 15 to 20 sacks this season. The guy's a killer. The front seven is amazing. But I'm done with the Daniel Gabriel show. 7 touchdowns, 2 picks. It looks good. It's not that good, people. He's been sacked 17 times. His completion rating is 58%. I don't like it. It's a lot of dinking and dunking. That's why his touchdown interception ratio is low. I don't know, man. I guess I'll take this one. As I just went on a rant there against Daniel Gabriel that I don't like him. Which I don't. I think, but I'm not in love with the Ravens offense. I'm still not in love with their offense. And I think the Browns can actually keep it close enough, because Derrick Henry, I believe, is not the same Derrick Henry as we know in the years past. Bateman has not practiced Thursday. It's Lamar Jackson's legs and hopefully a few balls thrown to Zay Flowers, dude. Like Mark Andrews, likely hasn't been playing that good this year. Mark Andrews, it looks like he's, taking a step back. But so I think the Ravens win. I truly do. And the Browns do play them tough. They do. Go look at the previous games in the last couple of years. And because the Browns been terrible, but I think the Browns do enough and they cover the number. So I'm taking the Browns plus the 7.5.
I think we've kind of agreed on too many games this week. I think it's tank time for the Browns now that we're getting close to the end of the year. Hopefully they try out Shador or something. They're pretty terrible. So I'll go Ravens.
You think they go quarterback first round? Would you?
They have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they have a top 5 pick, which they look like they're gonna have, right?
Yeah. And there's good quarterback class, so yeah, I would do too. Sanders and Gabriel. I don't know. Sanders, whatever. Sanders isn't gonna try, but I think they need to make a change there. Now let's talk about another game of the week. We're going all to Denver, baby, and the Chiefs, who just came off a bye, are playing the Broncos. Chiefs favored by 3.5, over under 44.5 points. Chiefs coming off a bye, man. They had a loss to the Bills, which I don't know why the Bills has their number during the season. Just win a game against them, goddammit. Before that, they won 3 games. They won 3 of the last 4 games. They beat the Commanders and Raiders. Nothing to write home about. We both had the Chiefs covering those games, and they beat the Lions. They blew the doors off them, so that was a good thing. The offense looks awesome, right? It looks great. I think we both like Patrick Mahomes having a great year. Running back room is trash. It's awful. It's arguably, I say, top 5. I've said multiple times, top 5 worst offensive running back room in the league. Hunt looks slow. Pachenko looks slow. The rookie Smith, this looks like an average guy. So there's nothing to write home about any there. Rashid Rice looks like that guy. They put up about 26 points a game, and they only let up like 17 points a game. So that's a good ratio. Their defense steps up. Their defense, I don't know if it's their defense is good, but it's not scary. You know what I mean? There's nothing. Chris Jones doesn't look like he's that guy. When I watch their tape, they do well, but I'm not impressed as well. But I think they do good enough. I don't know, man. What do you think about the Chiefs? Do you think they can make a run here? They got Broncos, Colts coming up there. Do you think they can make a run? And I mean, they're 3 games behind the division in the Denver. Do you like them? Do you think they could win the division?
The Chiefs still have that X factor that they could win any game with Mahomes, and it's hard for me to quantify where to put them. I still think they're one of the best teams, top 6 or 7. But yeah, with their record, they're gonna need to string these wins together here. So I don't know. It's gonna be a fun couple weeks to see where they go. I think they're gonna make a run for it. So I think they'll finish the season strong.
Yeah, my worry is the offensive line. It is.
Yeah.
Simmons, the guy who they thought they do, who they moved to left tackle, he a little questionable. He's good, but he's not great. I also you have to, and I say that because Taylor, I believe Taylor last year led the league in penalties, and he's good, but he's not doing so this year too. But I bring that up because this defense can sack the hell out of you. You like if you don't protect, God help you, because they'll get after you. Now, this switch to the Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos are still without Surtain. And that is something, because since Ray Rice has been implemented back into this offense, it's opened the floodgates for their whole team. Passing wise, it still hasn't done nothing for the rushing team, the rushing offense. But the Broncos are a little fool's gold in this. Bo Nix's stats look great. He has 18 touchdowns for 8 interceptions. But his completion rating is 60%, and there's some throws you're like, what the hell was that? What is he looking at? What are you doing? So my thing is this: Bo Nix, even though he has a good ratio, 18-8, he is gonna be the factor of okay, what the hell are you throwing at? Now you did a turnover and you just gave Mahomes back the ball, and I don't not love their offense. Oh, Dobbins is out for this game. It's gonna be Harvey. Harvey is not gonna be the starting running back. He's a rookie, good pass catching running back, but I don't know if he's ready to take the reins. They also have Sutton. He's good, not great in my opinion. Franklin, better than average. They need to get Ingram. I would get Ingram in some flats. Get him in some flats and open space and have him burn one of the linebackers. I think that's their best bet. We don't their defense. They sack people like it's going out of style. We understand that, and I think that's the best thing about this. So, dude, I took the first one, the Browns. I'll let you take this one. Here's the two things. Can the Broncos get after this good, but I think a good but not great offensive line of the Chiefs? But also the Chiefs do you think this is the right time for the Chiefs to jump on a Broncos team that is without its running back, that is without its best defender, and also the craziness of Bo Nix? Can you trust it? Who do you like?
I think you can officially put me in the Broncos haters club. I've been saying it for weeks. Every time I watch them, I hate watching them. I don't know. I don't like Bo Nix. I don't like the offense. The defense gets sacks, but they still aren't as scary or like dominant as I think they should be. There's just something that I just do not like about this team. The Chiefs are really in a must-win situation with them if they want for the division. Not even just to win the division, but to fight for the playoffs. So I'm going Chiefs here.
Yeah, man. Sorry, I just won my.
You're putting my bets in, or what?
I just won my parlay for $150 when I won $150. Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I think it's a big deal losing Dobbins. I really do. Dobbins was, the guy can't stay healthy, and he was having a great year this year. I also, I think this will be a tight game. I really do, but I think eventually the experience of Mahomes, knowing this is a must-win, I think because they lose this, dude, they are out of the playoff picture. Not as at that time they lose, and it's gonna be a clawing back. I'm talking about you need to win every game, kind of back thing. So I think this is a must-win for them. It's a divisional game. I think it's gonna be tight, but I think they could win this 24-20, something around that range, or 21-17. I just trust Mahomes. I hate that they have no running game, because that means you can just pin your ears back and get after him, and that's what the Broncos want to do. They want to just get after the quarterback. So the offensive line needs to hold up for them to have a chance, but I think they do just enough to win this game. The Chiefs. So you're taking the Chiefs too, right? You said?
Yep.
All right. Now, Sunday Night Football, the game of the week. We have the Lions, the Detroit Lions versus my Philadelphia Eagles, the number one team in the NFC seed right now, with the Philadelphia Eagles being favored by 2.5 and the over-unders 46.5 points. Now, as I go on a rant here for a bit, I'm not gonna talk about the AJ Brown shit. I don't care. The guy was right to say that this offense is he said they're not adjusting, and defense is adjusted to them, and it's stale, and they're not giving up. He's one of the best wide receivers in the leagues, people. Give him the ball, and next year, I don't care if we win the Super Bowl next year. Fire Petula. I don't care. Something needs to happen. We need a competent who's gonna offensive coordinator, and we need a guy who could feed him the ball. Or if you do trade him, you know what? If we get 2 Super Bowls from him, from AJ Brown, I'll trade him for a first round pick. We got what he wants. I don't think it's a problem at all in the locker room. I think it's overblown. The beat writers with Philadelphia Eagles will tell you that he's actually a really good teammate. All the guys like him. Him and Jalen Hurts, for some reason, are on bad terms, or they were in bad terms, but they're okay now. But I don't care. Whatever. AJ Brown shit's a distraction. Who cares what he said? He was right to say that. This game worries me more than the Packers. That's why I took the game as my best bet. One of my best bets against the Packers, because I don't give a shit that Campbell is it Campbell, right? The head coach is calling the games for the Detroit Lions now. He is now calling. He's taking play call duties for the offensive coordinator. It's that they have more weapons than the Packers do. They just do, and they scheme pretty good. They running backs. We all know this. Williams, St. Brown, Knuckles, and whatever the other guy's name is, Montgomery and Gibbs, Laporta. We know this, people. We know this. It's great. And they could take a ball over the top, or you got St. Brown fighting for those hard yards in the middle. And so that's what I'm afraid about. Now, the Eagles, the way they're going to win this game, the only way they can win this game is that they get after Goff. Goff is a goddamn statue. If you can get after him, he'll falter, he'll fall like a sack of potatoes. And I truly believe now, with Nolan Smith coming off from that 6 weeks he was hurt, and Phillips and Jalen Carter and Ajomo, our defensive tackle, who has 5 sacks, and Campbell, who is graded out one of the better pass coverage linebackers in the league. If they can eat him and get after Goff and watch that middle of Brown and don't let Williams bend or break defense. But I believe that's how they get after Goff, and they're gonna sack him in because we only sacked Jordan Love 3 times. But if you look at the quarterback curries, it's over 10 against Jordan Love. Anybody who watched that Packer game, Love was he I think he got rattled. He felt like they were around him at all times. And I feel like that's what they have to do. Same thing with Goff, because you get him off his A game. He's not like Jordan Love, who could run out the pocket. Goff he'll wait till the last minute to try to get a couple of yards. So I think that's how they do it. I am more worried about the offense. I think the defense will hold up. Vic Fangio, one of the better defense coordinators in the league, but it's the goddamn offense. The goddamn offense. There's nobody. I like Detroit's defense. I truly do. Their main boy who gets all the sacks. What's his name? Hutchinson. You got to watch him. But I will admit that I am not totally scared of their team defense. It's the offense for me that scares me. They have dogs. Don't get me wrong. Branch is a dog. He's all over the field. Joseph, he's questionable, but when he's there, he's a hard hitter. Their corners, I am not sold on them. Taron Arnold, who's questionable for this game, but Barnes and Rock Ya-Sin and Mick Robinson. So they're both starting corners are hurt. So they're going hurt into this game. So if they could just air the ball out and give A.J. Brown the ball, you could expose these corners. Their safeties are good, but their corners are not that good. They're better than average, but that's about it. So that's how you get after them. DJ Reader, Hutchinson, and McNeil, that's a great 3 guys right there. But that's another thing. The offensive line's beat up right now for the Eagles. 4 starters were shown up on the injured list, and one in particular, Lane Johnson, who is our when he's not in the starting lineup, we have a losing record, and when he is, we have obviously a good winning record. So keep an eye on that because he will be going against Hutchinson, and they need him to be at full length, full force. I expect him to go. He's a veteran. He's a Hall of Famer. I think he will play this game. Anything on the Eagles you want to say there, buddy? I know we talked about in the Packer game.
I will just say that the pressures they get are different kinds of pressures because they get that pressure up the middle, which is even harder, I think, for immobile quarterbacks to handle. That's something that the Packers, Love didn't like, but definitely something that Jared Goff doesn't like. And that interior of their offensive line is the weakest part of that offensive line. So that is the biggest question mark for me, and where that defense could really wreck the Lions' game plan.
I totally agree. There are some tapes going around. Carter, I don't know who the right guard is, but he has this move where he kind of just hits him, and your right guard went like flying that way. So that's a good point. The Lions, as we both said, I did talk about them. They might smell some blood in the water because if they just saw the Packers lose, and they might think like, hey, this is our time to take advantage of the situation. We could now take maybe a dominant. I'm not saying dominant, like kind of a lead.
Take control.
Take control of the lead, because they did have that bad loss against the Vikings, which is not a good look, and they did lose the Packers, so they already lost 2 divisional opponents. They need to stack some more wins, and they definitely when they play the rest of the NFC North. But this comes down to the NFC because these games like this when you're playing like when the Eagles need to beat the Packers, this means a lot in the NFC seeding, like in the taking the first place. The only way the Eagles are ahead of the Seahawks because they have more NFC wins against, and so this has a lot of prominence. All right, dude. Like we talked about both these teams. I talked briefly about the Lions. We know about their offense, decent defense. Their corners are not so good. I'm very worried about this game. I really am. I think the defense will hold up against their dynamic offense. I just think we will. I think we'll get after Goff. It all depends on the offensive line, and it all depends on the consistency of the thing. But I'm not. I'm good. I mean, I was thinking about as they say, piercing the needle or through the middle hole. I was thinking about having the Eagles win, but the Lions covering, like a 24-23 game. Eagles win, but the Eagles have been this. We're like the Chiefs of last year. We are winning these close games. We are winning these. Now, I don't like that we're one of the worst. We're like one of the worst third down to conversion teams, and we're one of the worst teams. We get 3 and outs all the time. But it's in Philly. I think we could win this by a field goal, just like we did the Packers. I think they hold enough. It's going to be. I actually like the under in this game too. I think it's going to be like 24-20 or 21-24. And I think this is going to be the Eagles' biggest test. But we beat the Chiefs, we beat the Rams, we beat the Buccaneers. And so I think that's going to be another thing. And hey, man, I don't know. You kind of need the Eagles to win this game, buddy.
Yeah, kind of. It would be great. It would be great.
So I'm taking the Eagles to cover the 2.5. I'm with a really hope and a prayer. I am not as confident as I was in the Packer game, but who do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the other side just because I love to, and also I think the Eagles win these games by like grinding it out. That's why they're always so close. But I think if the Lions can get a couple scores in, I think their offense outpaces the Eagles.
The Eagles don't want a shootout, that's for sure. If it's a shootout, it'd be Detroit's favor. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna be the edge of my seat. I'm gonna be, hollering. Really, my neighbors are gonna be like, "What the hell's going on over there?" But yeah, it's gonna be a great game, back-to-back NFC North games. And the Eagles, I swear, I think it's all said and done, they probably have the hardest schedule going so far in the NFL. So if you guys are hearing those loud noises, my cats are going crazy. We're almost done, cats. All right. So last game, Monday Night Football. This game is, I don't know why it's Monday Night Football. Can we flex this, please? We have the Cowboys versus the Raiders. Cowboys being favored by 3.5 points, over under 49.5. Both teams are coming off a bye, I believe. Raiders, they fought Raiders had a mini bye. Let's take that back. They covered against the Broncos 10-7. They covered against the Jaguars, so they lost both games. They lost these last 2 games by a total of 4 points, but they have lost 7 out of the last 8 games. They only beat the Titans. They haven't covered the majority of those games. They did cover the last 2 games. Before that, they covered 1 game out of 5, 6. So they've been struggling, dude. Brock Bowers obviously opens this offense up for them. They're not playing against the Broncos defense. Genty, their defense is actually not that bad. The Raiders, it's not terrible. They're tied for 20th in the and letting point teams score against them. So almost the middle of the pack there, but they're only pitting 15 points a game. So that is terrible. Geno Smith, they should have signed him a 1-year deal. They should not sign him to a multi-year deal like they did, because he is not that guy. Jacoby Myers gone, so they did work in Lockett against the Broncos. Lockett actually had some good yards with them, so maybe that could be something. Lockett and Tucker and Bowers, that'd be a nice little pick me up if Lockett could actually turn something around. Their injury report's pretty good. Their starting center is still on injury reserve. That's about it. They have some dogs, okay? Defense-wise, they have Bowers is the best tight end, I think, when he's healthy. It all depends what Geno Smith you're going to get. The guy could turn a turnover machine. He has 11 touchdowns for 12 interceptions. Genty, he's only averaging 3.8 yards a carry, but look what he's kind of working with. So I think they need to. I think they actually need to work in Raheem Moser a lot more. I don't know not why they do not use him at all. He's a good speed back. I don't know why they don't give him 10 carries a game. They do not. I think they need to use him and Genty, mix him in that with Genty just to win a game. But maybe they don't want to win a game as well. So, dude, I don't think what to say about the Raiders. They will have a top 5 pick in this league in the next year's draft. They will. I think they should spend that pick on a quarterback or get another ace defender, a guy who can help Max Crosby get after the quarterback. It's always just Max Crosby, and he's a lights out. He puts his heart out there. Cowboys, they make a big trade. They brought in the guy from the Jets, right? Quentin Williams, I think they brought him in. Mm-hmm. So him and Kenny Clark, maybe that could do something. Maybe that could to spice it up because this defense is god awful. It's the second to worst next to the Bengals, and that's calling much. But the Cowboys are 1-4 when they leave Dallas. They're terrible on the road. Their defense is terrible. I think everybody in the NFC East knows the division's over. It's the Eagles are taking and winning it. So do they feel like they have something to fight for? We all like their offense. We don't have to talk about it. We know about that. Javonte Williams might be the signing of the year of last year. George Pickens, guys, Kill probably 1,000 yards. CeeDee Lamb, I believe, will probably over 1,000 yards still. 2 without Dak Prescott, damn it, hold over 4,000 yards. We don't have to talk about it. But they allow almost 31 points a game. Okay, so you can score at this team as well. So Adam, I'll let you take this one. Do you think the Raiders create with inconsistent Geno Smith and their kind of horrid offense, only putting 50 points, do you think they can pit up enough against this terrible Cowboys defense? And does this defense of the Cowboys do enough to cover the number with the extra help with Quinnen Williams?
I like the Quinnen Williams addition to the defense. I'm gonna go Cowboys. I think that offense can put up too many points.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cowboys. I don't know how this is 3.5. I don't know. I mean, I just don't get it, to be honest with you. I think the Cowboys coming off a bye. I think the Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark make the Raiders even more one-dimensional, make them pass a lot more, and because they're going to stop the run pretty well. And I think they win this game, and I think they win this game by a touchdown. So give me the Cowboys to win and cover against the lonely Las Vegas Raiders. All right, guys, now it's time for our best bets. Had another winning week for me, so we'll put our best bets down here, our records. So let's get right to it. A lot of tight games, a lot of great games. So these gonna be fun to watch. See if they come through. So the first game, I'm gonna take the game all the way in Madrid, Spain. I like the Miami Dolphins to cover the 2.5 points against the Commanders. The Commanders are beat up goddamn everywhere, okay? And I think the Miami have a little bit of juice. Like I said, don't forget last year they went on a run. I think a little bit of juice. I think they're realizing we need to give A-Chain 20 to 25 carries. This is the formula to win. McDaniel knows his seat is on fire, and he could possibly get fired. But if he could pit a little stretch here, maybe he could keep his job for another year. So I like the Miami to cover 2.5 points. The second game, I like the Chiefs to cover the 3 points against the Broncos. Look, I'm not a believer in Bo Nix. He's having actually a decent year, so I'm not saying he's going to be a bad quarterback, but he is a little wild. 59% or 58% completion rating. They don't have J.K. Dobbins. Surtain is still out as well. I think the Chiefs do enough to win this by a few points, more than 3 points. So I think I like them to win this game, 24-20 kind of game or 17-21 kind of game. And my third and final game, Monday Night Football. Maybe it's a sucker's bet, but I don't know how the Raiders could put up. I don't like them to. I don't know how they're not a 6.5 to 5.5 point favorite. I like the Dallas to put up a lot of points against them. Geno Smith is inconsistent. The Cowboys are coming off a bye, rested up. CD Lamb. Their offense is just amazing. It's their defense. They do have a big trade with Quinton Williams, so maybe he can dice it up, get after the quarterback, and help the whole defense in general. I think they do enough, and I actually like the over in that game as well. So, but my best bet is the Dallas to cover the 3.5, the Chiefs to cover the 3 points, and the Miami to cover the 2.5 points. Adam, what do you got? Who do you like in this tough Week 11 week?
Yeah, it is tough, and I'm going with a couple more tight games that I usually do. I like your picks. We didn't have any overlap.
Oh, wow,
first
really?
one, yeah, the first one I'm taking the Chargers. I just like how they've been playing lately, and I just don't believe in the Jaguars. So I'm taking the Chargers first. Second, I want the Niners. I like Purdy coming back and the Niners offense getting healthier. Also, Cardinals without Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't like, and I don't like the trajectory of that team. And then finally, I want the Packers over the Giants. I think it needs to happen. I think it's gonna happen, and I can't wait to watch it happen.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking the Packers too, but just not there yet. I got to maybe watch this game and then okay, they're back on track. But I do like Watson for his player props, his receptions, and his receiving yards in that game. But yeah, gonna be a great game, guys. It's gonna be awesome. Week 11 looks tough. It's actually one of the better weeks in all of the NFL season. A lot of things are gonna be answered this week. I think in who's gonna be leading the division, who are gonna actually the cream float to the top, if they will, and who's gonna be we'll just see who's gonna be the better team this week, especially in the NFC. A lot of tough games. So with that, man, Week 11 in the books, brother. Our picks. This will come out, guys, Friday, around sometime Friday. Thank God the holidays are coming up, man. I finally the hardest work week of my life is this month is finally ending. But guys, we'll be back in week 12. It's gonna be fun. I think the Patriots already won, so the best play, I thought the under hit. Like and subscribe, guys. It goes a long way. I love doing this. Adam loves doing this. The end of the season's coming up. I'm gonna try to get my NBA picks out there. It's been a lot of work lately. So with that, Adam, any last words? Go Pack, go, or
you know it. Down with the Eagles.
Yeah. Hey man, Sunday night, baby. It's gonna be awesome. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.